Thanks so much. And to you, Mr. Vavi, getting straight to it. The Minister of Mineral Resources, Gwede Mantashe, says government should not be blamed for the deaths of the illegal miners at Stilfontein. But as SAFTU, you disagree because you say that government should be held accountable and you will pursue that. Why is that?
Well, we put the blame squarely on the doorsteps of the government for the following reason. One, South African government have allowed that the migration policies of South Africa must not be effective and must not be implemented, making it possible for thousands and thousands of undocumented workers from all over the world to come into the country willy-nilly. It is the consequences of failure to manage the immigration policies and the influx into South Africa by everybody who wish to do so that we have this crisis in our hands. Secondly, government has passed 8 pieces of legislation on making itself the primary regulator of the mining industry and the custody of the minerals in South Africa. These range from the right to give permission to every mining company seeking to close its operation in South Africa, and that certificate can only be issued once the government is satisfied that the mining company has sealed the mine, has rehabilitated the mine, has ensured that the environmental issues and destruction around the mine is addressed such that the mine can be livable, or the communities around the mine can use that land for other purposes. Government has dismally failed to ensure that these regulations and laws are enforced by the mining companies. Up to the extent, as we speak, the Auditor General told us 2 years ago that there are about 6,100 mines that have not been properly closed, that are not sealed, where environment has not been addressed, and where it is possible for anybody to come in and out of those mines willy-nilly. And that's why we put the blame on the doorsteps of the government. And lastly, we were in Stilfontein on the 21st of November last year. When we were there, we were not even allowed to come anywhere close to that dark hole because government had just announced a 3-phase operation to rescue those mine workers, or call them zamazamas, you call them anything you wish to. That was on the 21st of November. It has taken up to the 13th of January, the 2 months down the line, for the government to begin this operation. And by the time it starts those operations, it finds so far 78 people dead and 216 or about that seriously malnourished, almost dying from starvation and hunger. And therefore, the point we're making as the Federation SAFTU, who cares about the human rights of everybody, who understand the constitutional requirement in line with Section 11 of the Constitution that puts an obligation on the state first and foremost to protect the right to life of anybody within the borders of South Africa, including during the emergencies. That therefore the government didn't take steps to make sure that the people do not die unnecessarily as they have died in Stilfontein. And secondly, the Constitution gives an obligation to the government to protect everybody's right to dignity. You cannot tell me that the government have played its part in terms of protecting the dignity of those workers who no longer get out of Shaft 11. And that's a point that we want to address again